We'll just have a look which two bellends were supposedly trick-or-treating last night. But the thing is, Rachel Reeves is unfortunately for us cooking up some new council tax bans, which can only be a bad thing, can't it, eh? I'm guessing it's not going to benefit us in the slightest, but this is all part of a big property wealth shake-up at the budget. The Chancellor is aiming apparently to rake in billions of pounds, not millions, but billions, by introducing higher tax brackets for local authority levies later on this month. And it's another move targeting the wealthier people in Britain, which I don't know about you, but I'm guessing will make them think twice about whether to stay here or not, and therefore they'll take their money away from our country and put it somewhere else. Well, thanks for that, Rachel. Once again, you're not using the Labour brain cell. Come on now. But there was also a bit of chatter, shall we say, about a possible mansion tax on November the 26th as well, so I'm guessing she wants to give them two kicks in the nutsack, eh? But according to the Financial Times, Miss Reeves is eyeing pricier homes with these two new council tax bans, and a source close to the plan mentioned that the idea of an increased taxation on high-end homes is well established, and this discussion is about how you do it. Another source, though, did a bit of chipping in, saying it's vital for the budget to show everyone is paying their fair share. Well, I don't know about you, but from what I've heard, the average home is in a Band D. I'm not in Band D, I am in Band C. C for anyway, but get this, back in August, apparently Rachel Reeves dodged a question about hitting middle-class families with higher bills by revamping council tax, which makes me wonder the questions she's dodging at the minute, is she going to do something with them as well? Maybe not this budget, maybe with the next one. Either way, every time she or Keir Starmer speak, it looks like it's nothing but a disaster for you and me, doesn't it? Which is the last thing we need in the middle of a cost of living crisis. But when Labour apparently was in opposition, they had ruled out any changes in the system, like revaluation or adding extra bans. But the Treasury, of course, they just don't seem to be sticking with that, do they? Saying that only Miss Reeves wants to keep taxes for work and people as low as possible, which is not a good sign, is it, if she's the only one who wants to do that? Surely, wouldn't it make more sense for people to have a bit more money in their pockets so we could buy things and put it back into the system that way? But the government, thanks to presumably Rachel Reeves herself, is facing a whopping £30 billion gap in public finances, although they reckon that is due to slower than expected economic growth and, of course, a productivity slump. So, I don't know about you, but I know which one I think it is. Earlier this year, though, the Telegraph highlighted that rural England voters are only already dealing with a local stealth tax, with parish and town council levies skyrocketing overnight. And Labour, of course, has been going after the wealthy as it is, with moves like VAT on private schools and a crackdown on non-dom tax regime. But with reports of a mansion tax on the horizon, Housing Secretary Steve Reed also had done a bit of dodging. He dodged a question apparently 4 times last week. But Miss Reeves is mulling over a 1% levy on the part of a property's value over £2 million. So if you're lucky enough to own a £3 million home, you'll be looking at a £10,000 annual bill. And when asked if the Treasury was considering it, he said, "It's best for me actually not to just answer that question." And whilst, of course, I'm sure a lot of people out there will be saying, well, if it's a £3 million home, I'm sure these people can afford it. And yes, they might be able to. But the thing is, what starts at the top tends to trickle down, doesn't it? So at the moment, admittedly, you and me aren't facing these charges, but I'm guessing we soon will be, sooner or later, which I'm not too happy about. Keir Starmer apparently also hinted at possibly ditching Labour's manifesto pledge not to raise income tax, which apparently could bring in around £8 billion. And that is, of course, because we're still stuck in this fiscal drag. And to add this to it, I think is not only a slap in the face, but it's kind of a kick in our gonads as it is, or at least my wallet's one. And I'm sure all the mothballs in there wouldn't exactly be too happy about that. But anyway, during Prime Minister's questions, Kemi Badenoch, the Conservative leader, as we all know at the moment, grilled the Prime Minister about sticking to his 2024 election promises. She asked, last year in the manifesto, Labour promised not to increase income tax, not to increase national insurance, and not to increase VAT. Does the Prime Minister still stand by his promises? Which, yes, is a brilliant question. But, of course, Keir then replied, "I am glad the leader of the opposition is now finally talking about the economy. I can update the House of Commons. Retail sales are higher than expected. Inflation is lower than expected, and growth has been upgraded this year, and the UK stock market is on an all-time high. The budget is on November the 26th, and we will lay out our plans then, which of course means he's done a bit of bally dance and dodging there, doesn't it? Along with, I'm guessing, quite a few U-turns to come. The worrying thing is, though, Keir apparently previously stood by his pledges on income tax, national insurance and VAT when asked the same question by Miss Badenoch in July. And later in the week, Downing Street also avoided repeating their pledge that the manifesto stands regarding these taxes. A Treasury spokesperson, though, well, what did they say? Unsurprisingly, another bit of dodging, I'm afraid. They say, we will not comment on speculation around changes to the tax outside of fiscal events. Well, thank you very much. I'm sure that reassures all of us, doesn't it, eh? Either way, Halloween might now be over, but it looks like Rachel Reeves does not know that, in my opinion, and will be doing a very scary event on November the 26th. And I, for one, am not looking forward to it.